next edition of GPL 357, where we are a few degrees short of a full circle. It is getting close to the climax of the season as we run into the last 2 rounds of the regular season, and to help us through what's about to happen, I've got our regular panellists. On my right, the man behind the bar, Scotty. Hello, Scotty.
G'day, Tane. G'day, listeners.
And on my left, we have the man back from Scotland, moving around the world he is to broaden his scope on things, the celebrity corrupter himself, DC Carroll. G'day, DC.
G'day, Tone. How are you?
Not too bad. We've got a great thing. We'll go through the reviews of last week. We've got a few lost degrees to find when we go out on the course. We're going to have a look at the run home for the teams, not only in the top 4, but also those around the finals. We're going to a legend who's a 150 game player, this coming thing, and then we'll go through the tips for the coming week. So guys, I'll kick us off, and I've got the chemists who are up against the vultures, and the chemists 10 turned up. I think they've got a sniff. They're starting to stay out of the bars on Friday night, and it's showing. 183 was a brutal score, and they brutalised the vultures, who after their magnificent record of a couple of weeks ago hurt their finals chances with their 166 flogging. And unfortunately, it might be all over for the vultures. Well, under the chemist here, you got Scotty.
I've got a top 4 clash between the ferrets and the tridents. The ferrets of all they were on the weekend. They're a scoring machine at the moment, the ferrets. And look, yeah, the ferrets are looking good. Tridents, yeah. This time I think they were starting to fill the pitch last year, so I hope history doesn't repeat itself for the tridents. But good win to the ferrets.
Yeah, great win. They're looking good, the ferrets. How about you, DC?
I had the big match between the Gummers and the Sewer Rats. The Sewer Rats looking for top 4 and we're consolidating top 4, and the Gummers looking to try and make the finals. And Sewer Rats just a bit too strong, 179 to 168. So Rats are certainly in contention this year.
Yeah, they certainly are going well. As we always do, we go in the field of battle and search a few of these lost degrees, and it's amazing. In a day which is harder
here we go.
than a Latin textbook, we've got Evan Gale of the Back Nine Mafia with the curse on your hand. How are you travelling, big fella?
All right, there's a lot of pluses and minuses, but I think we're borderline.
It's very close. The curse of Scrap of a Cloud. Will it survive another year?
Oh, I'm used to pressure, so
You certainly are with your
I'll
team.
handle it.
How about the old Wolfpack over here, Downsy? Captain of the Wolfpack.
Like a current affair, mate. Just like no comment. It's not too bad.
Going all right?
First week back, I think a couple down.
No worries, mate. Keep going.
If there's anything I'm going to say,
Mighty
the Buglers
Buglers
have got it. This year we got it.
You sure?
Sure.
Don't forget it's still in August.
Absolute sure.
You're not good in August.
Famous choking words.
Nick Lane of F Troop in the new jumpers, going deep into winter, mate. Still in the Survivor. How are you travelling?
3 up.
3 ups handy?
Yeah, so I've got to keep going. I've got another 3 shots, so 4 or 5 up would be handy.
It'll be very handy. It's a crucial game for the troop.
Yeah, and we've got to win today and get say in the survivors too. Yeah.
I know. All right, all the best, mate. Keep going. Well, Mickey Lane, he just hit a nice little hybrid on the green after that interview, Scotty. How did F Troop go? Are they still in the Survivor?
Yes, F Troop did stay in the Survivor, but their premiership hopes took a severe dent with a tough 2-point loss to the Wood Ducks. Wood Ducks finally getting some players back on the park, and your chemists showed them what they can do. Still in the mix, big game coming up this week.
It is indeed. How about you, DC?
I've got Phoenix and Wolfpack, and Wolfpack keeping their finals hopes alive with a bit of a drubbing of Phoenix, 175. Phoenix really not giving much of a yelp at 162, and it'd be remiss of me not to mention that I picked F Troop for the Survivor about 6 weeks ago, so let's just try and keep that one on record. Go F Troop.
Could probably dig up that footage if I need to, DC. You're not bad. I've got the big match between Wally World and Back Nine Mafia, where Scrap and McLeod, the curse of Scrap and McLeod, reared its head last week, and this is gathering momentum, I can tell you. Georgie Grossix assures me that there's no such curse, and he went out there and had +4 and won the President's Cup to prove his point. It was magnificent. He beat Gary Gardner and the Back Nine Mafia on a countback for the President's Cup, but still the curse won. The Wally World could not beat the Back Nine Mafia, and once again we see a pulsating draw between those two scores. The Wally World have dropped out of the four, out of the top four, putting their premiership hopes in jeopardy. That's the curse. And of course, the only good game of the year the Back Nine Mafia played as premiership holders was against Wally World. 178 draw, absolutely magnificent. And Georgie, the curse lives on.
I mean, you've got to take it even further. As we get to the finals, if you're playing Wally World on the day, you would find one of the Back Nine Mafia players and ask them to caddy for you. Because I think even as a caddy, a Back Nine Mafia member would get you over the line against Wally.
It's an easy kill. There's a way to do it. It's straight into Wally World's heart. How about you, Scotty?
I've got the Corruptibles and the Tunners. Corruptibles, sorry, Daz, you came back, but still the same result that we've had in the recent weeks.
It didn't really contribute.
Still the same result the Corruptibles have been copping in the last few weeks. Tunners looking strong. A very good score of 184 to keep their premiership, their finals hopes alive. Not quite entrenched there, as I said before, with the Ducks. Big game coming up this Saturday.
Can I just say that the Corruptibles were a young team and we probably just haven't quite played out the season, but next year with another pre-season under our belt, we'll be
You've got the highest average. You've got the highest average age. Yeah.
You lose the next two, and there's every chance you've got back-to-back spoons. Do you think this is what they were looking for when they pulled your name out of the draft pool 2 years ago?
No, but any trophy's a trophy, so let's move on. The next game we've got is the Buglers and Wanderers, which a high-scoring draw. Wanderers looked home and hose in this one, and James Klein birdies the last to tie it up. Didn't really matter for the Buglers so much. They're on top, although they haven't won now for 4 weeks with a loss and 2 draws. So let's call it a mini slump for them.
It's got to be worrying for them.
And the Wanderers, that 2 points may have been enough to lock in a finals place for them. So hopefully that lovely shot from James down the ninth on Saturday afternoon doesn't cost them a final spot. But 181 each, that's they probably, both teams don't deserve to lose, so share the points.
Yeah, two teams playing well clearly. So guys, the run home we've got here, and we look at the top 4 first. The Buglers, Ferrets, Surats, Tridents and Wally World. I think the Buglers and Ferrets are home and hosed on 44, they're sweet. Surats, Tridents and Wally World, 2 points between the three. One of these 3 teams is going to miss out, and it's vital. Clearly the best run, the Tridents, they've got Phoenix and Vultures who haven't been showing too much. They just need to, I think, dodge the Vultures big weeks. But the others, they're probably going to need to win both for them to get into the top 4, which is vital, that second chance. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, you lose a game and it may be the one that knocks you out of the top 4. So certainly the Tridents and Wally World have to win both. It's hard to say. Look, the Tridents and Wally World are so close on percentage that you could win both games, and Tridents could win both games and still lose the spot to Wally World. So when we say every shot counts, over the next 2 weeks for these two teams, every shot will count.
Who do you reckon? Who'll miss out? What do you reckon of those 3?
Well, you'd assume the Tridents would probably win their last 2, and also Wally will probably win their last 2 games because they were pretty easy games, including the Gunners, who have been pretty disappointing the second half of the start of the year after I picked them to do great things. You'd assume though those 2 would win both matches. Surat's got a tricky draw. Wolfpack returned the form at all like him as well. You don't know what you're going to get. Look, it's tough. I think Surat slip out.
I know the Surats have been, they'll be taking the chemists out the Friday night before they play. Won't be a hard sell. Their season performance of Surats out on the source, so I think they'll do right. But the run home is even more interesting. From 6 to 12, we've got 7 teams that really have a good chance to make it into the home. Maybe the F Troop are up against it the most. They're going to have to win both and win them comfortably. And one of them's against the Ferrets, which look like they're almost unbeatable the way they're playing. And the Wanderers are sitting up there. They're a game clear of the drop, but they've got the hardest draw in for sure by 2. Mind you, they're playing well. So let's just see how this pans out. What do you reckon, DC?
Yeah, as you say, Wanderers, they're in 6th spot at the moment, but they are playing 2 teams in the top 4. So look, if they can pinch one of those, then they deserve their spot in the finals. I see only one change. I see Wanderers, Tunners, and Wood Ducks taking up those last 3 spots. I see Wood Ducks swapping spots with the All Night Chemist, but it's going to be close. And look, the Tunners could miss the finals, but if they make it, I'm going to make an early call and say the Tunners will win the premiership this year.
It will be a big night,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. And that night will be October 28th, is breaking news just on the Charles and Trumpeter line. We're sure that the clubhouse will be done and dusted by then, and it will be a cracking way to break this beautiful old girl in with its new dress on. How do you reckon it'll go, Scotty?
Well, I think you rule out Wolfpack and F Troop to start with. Well, they're on 20. Wolfpack on 20 points and 18 points, and they both have the top. They both play one of the top 2 teams in the next 2 rounds. So I just can't see them bridging the gap they need to. They need. Well, Wolfpack need to win. They both need to win both games to make it. So I can't see them winning 2 games, either of those sides. So I think they're effectively out. Gunners, look, on their day they can still do some damage, but I think they're finished. So I reckon it's actually just down to 9. And yeah, it is. I reckon it's going to come down to this week's game for the Wood Ducks against the Tunners. They just have to win this game to make it. I reckon. If they don't, I think they'll slip out.
Yeah, well, I think for me, the Gunners are the one that's going to take over from the Chemist myself. We'll talk about the battle for Table 7. There's a lot riding on this match against Mollyworld, as you would know, Scotty. So that, I think, will inspire the Gunners, and then they have to knock off your boys, which, sorry to say, last year you guys played off with the spoon. One of you, I think, will be playing off with the spoon again in round 15, but the others have bounced a little from that unfortunate position. Anyway, guys, the survivor, we've got the Buglers, F Troop, and the Ferrets are left. Who do you pick, guys? For me, the Ferrets. They've been great all year. To me, I think the Ferrets are going to get it.
No, F Troop was what I said 6 weeks ago, and I'm sticking with it.
Ferrets to win.
Geez, sorry, the boys in red will not be happy, but they might get their time in the sun later on in the year. We have one magnificent 150 game player this week. He's one of the originals, and he was the captain of the All Night Chemists, Vinny Sofo. The reason why they call the All Night Chemist, for those that don't know, is the All Night Chemist never shuts up, and I think that explains how Vinny perfectly. He's always up for a chat, and for 10 years he's been going around the traps with the Chemist. No trophies to show, but he did get into the trophy team 1 year back in 2012. So well done, Vinny, on your 150 games, and may there be 150 more. All we've got left now, guys, is the tips, and this is when it really starts to get cracking. First, Ferrets against F Troop, and I unfortunately think for F Troop, this is their absolute necessity. They need to win. Whoever wins this will guarantee themselves into the grand final of the Team Survivor, but I think the Ferrets might be just too good.
Yes, well, I actually lost the train of thought there. I thought we were actually selecting the game. So I am selecting the Ferrets. I reserve my judgment for the knockout. I reckon F Troop will probably get eliminated from the knockout this week.
I'm not sure how I can spin this, because I really can't see how F Troop's going to beat both the Ferrets and the Buglers over the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to have to stick with it.
If they do,
F Troop will beat the Ferrets. I don't know how. I don't know in what possible way or what possible universe, but guys, make it happen.
The next game, the Tridents up against the Wanderers both. This has big implications for the top 8. The Tridents, unfortunately, I think have been just a little bit off the pace over the last few weeks, and the Wanderers seem to be gathering some momentum. So I reckon the Wanderers will get over the Tridents and damage their top 4 contention, but lock in the Wanderers for the finals. Scotty?
Yeah, look, I'll stick with the Tridents. The same thing happened last year where they just dropped off a little bit this time of year, but I'll just stick with them for one more week. The afternoons have been kinder to the afternoon players compared to playing in the morning.
That's true.
They're all afternoon players, the Tridents.
Yeah, look, I played with a couple of Wanderers on Saturday, in Jeff Dean and Stephen Chakudi, and I saw more pluses in the front 9 than I've seen on my own scorecard for probably about 12 months. So I think they might lead the Wanderers to victory this week against the Tridents.
So the Wood Ducks against the Tunners once again. This is right in the guts of where the finals are going to be shaped. The Wood Ducks, the Tunners have really started to hit some form as well. The Wood Ducks, it was their best game for a while last week. I think it's going to be really close, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Wood Ducks just get over the Tunners in a close one. Scotty?
Yeah, both sides I'm very friendly with, but I've got to say Wood Ducks. I think they did return to form last week, so with all their players playing now, they might be heading for some July action.
We'll come back to Boche, Scotty.
Yeah, well, the Wood Ducks, I mean, their form at the start of the year was horrible, and their captain was doing very little, and he's hit back with a vengeance the last couple of weeks, and he's in great form. I don't know, the Tunners, they reaped the benefits of the 2017 draft this year. They put in a couple of good players, got some strong low markers, reason why I'm tipping them to win the flag. But this might be the one game that they don't quite get over the line. I think Wood Ducks to win this one just, but Tunners are circling.
Tunners are circling. They are Buglers against the Vultures. This should be an easy win for the Buglers, which does actually concern me because this may cost them their position in the team survivor. I think they'll go through the motions, they'll have a win, but I think they might not be as emotionally charged as they need to be, and they could be out of the team survivor at 6 o'clock this Saturday, Scotty.
Well, I told Dale last week, he just doesn't want to pour. He wants to be eliminated with a high 170, low 180. I think, yeah, as for the game itself, Bugles win easily. Vultures had their turn in the sun about a month ago, but I think they've returned back to their low scores again. So Buglers for me. Billy Adams has to play, I think, for the Vultures to help their cause.
Well, it's certainly a danger game. I mean, any team, or the Vultures, 2-3 weeks ago, the highest scorer in the history of GPL. So they certainly on the day, they can beat anybody. And as we said, Buglers with two draws and a loss as their last 3 games need to hit the finals with some winning form. So they'll need to step it up this week, and I think they'll get over the line against the Vultures comfortably.
Your boys, the Corruptibles against the Back Nine Mafia, the battle of the dad versus the son, the Carrolls. The Back Nine Mafia playing well, and I haven't seen much from the Corruptibles, Darren. I think the Back Nine Mafia will get it done against your boys, I'm afraid to say. Got it?
I think the Corruptibles just need some players to show up. Back 9 for me. I think they're in the better form of the 2 teams, so back 9 for me.
No, Corruptibles comfortably. Back 9 Mafia, possibly at the end of this week. They still might have a chance if the Vultures lose to climb off the bottom, but we certainly won't be finishing bottom again.
Okay, we'll take that to the bank, maybe.
A defiant Darren Carroll there.
We'll take that to the bank. Next up, we've got the Chemists up against the Wolfpack. Once again, this will help shape the 8. The Chemists, I think, will show up, and I think they'll get it done. When they all play, they do play well. So the Chemists, I think, against the Wolfpack for me.
Yeah, big game. If Wolfpack lose, they're out of business. Let's hope they're out of the bars early enough on Friday night. All right, Chemists for me.
It's all or nothing for the Wolfpack. Not only do they have to win, they have to win well. Their percentage is quite significantly lower than the Chemists. So they probably want to have about a 15-point win at the very least. I don't know if they've got that in them. I think the Chemists will be a little too strong on the day, so Chemist for me.
Yeah, I think they'll do it for Vinny. On his 150th, the battle for table 7 is the next one, where we've got Wally World. Just clean this up here. Wally World against the Gunners. Wally World have been sitting on that table and loving it, and no doubt that the Gunners want to take it back. So I think the Gunners will get up in an upset, and this will have big ramifications for Wally World's premiership aspirations. But the Gunners, I think, will get up and continue that momentum all the way into the finals. Scotty?
Shane really wants that table 7 back in his his grasp. Look, they haven't had it for 2 full years. He's just a bit worried you got to make that round 1 match next year, so they don't get the full benefit of it 12 months in the
I'll look after you, big fella. I'll have it late in the season so you can enjoy it every day.
But for me, Wally World, just too consistent for the Gunners.
The old rumours are that Shane wants that table so desperately he's going to be borrowing a back 9 Mafia shirt on the day, and that should be enough to get them over Wally World with the curse to continue.
Yeah, that'll work, there's no doubt. And finally, we've got the Phoenix up against the Surats. The Phoenix are just stumbling into the end of the season, I think. So I would expect the Surats to get over the Phoenix pretty comfortably and continue their march towards the top 4 spot.
Yeah, Surats easily.
Yeah, I think the Rats will win, but for a team that's not used to being in their position up in the 3rd spot, they certainly don't want to take their eye off the prize this late in the season for playing against a team that's not finals bound. So still got to get out there and take it 1 shot at a time, Rats, and make sure we don't throw away that double chance.
Absolutely. Well, there it is. Once again, it's really in the sweet zone of the regular season now. We're 2 rounds from the final starting. It's deep into winter. And guys, thank you very much as always for your comments, how we're going. Don't forget everyone, if you want to win this thing, you need to turn up and play well. This has been GPL 357 and we'll see you next time.